Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the DesireTalks podcast. You might have noticed that your intro is a little bit different this week. That is because I am not your usual host. I am, in fact, Sean Ferrick. I am Prince Trekkie online, and what I am for today anyway, and we'll discuss that as the podcast goes on. I am delighted to introduce the wonderful, the slightly hairy, the ever smiling Ethan Bradbury to his own podcast. How are you getting on, MrBritainX? Are you well?
I am very good, thank you, Sean. Thanks for having me on.
You're very welcome. It's a very exclusive podcast. We had to just try and fit you in.
Oh yeah, obviously, I've been trying to get on this for ages. Obviously,
No, well, in fairness, it's true. I look back through all of your episodes and I see no interviews with you, and I think, what's going on here? I think there's some sort of discrimination going on.
I think so too. But about time I was interviewed on this. I mean, it's been apparently in high demand because people want to know a bit about me as well, not just everyone else.
Well, this is very true. I mean, I personally have been wanting to get to know you for a while because, I suppose, spoiler for the people listening in, we have spoken before this podcast, and I have had the pleasure of seeing your content online. Um, I mean, it's porn, so obviously something I'm not interested in any way. So,
Really,
but you
that
seem
felt.
happy. That's the important thing.
Yeah, I've always got a smile on my face while I'm balls deep in someone. So,
Well, I mean, isn't that really the meaning of life?
yeah, pretty much. You know, yeah. I mean, I say I'm always smiling. I think that's a bit creepy, isn't it? If I did have like a full like Cheshire cat grin, like, could you imagine that in
Joe,
every
I, I
scene? It's like,
I actually
yeah,
can imagine that, and like it's giving me very strange feelings inside. But at the same
I'd be
time,
freaked
we
out.
don't we don't kink shame here. That's fine.
No,
If someone actually, do you know what? I was going to make a joke there, but 100%. Like, I'm sure Alice in Wonderland porn has to be a thing.
yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
pretty
it really.
sure.
If well, actually, what's the old thing? If you can think it, someone has fapped to it.
Yeah. To be fair, I was actually, this is really interesting. Oh, it's not the table. Interesting. I had this idea the other day. It was someone saying about stealing ideas. Like, oh, it was actually a very nice conversation. Because I'd done that Viking thing, and someone's
Mm.
like, "Oh, you've just started speaking to me. You've seen I've got Viking things, and don't want you to think I've copied you because it's around the same time." And I was like, "I don't care." And they were like, "Well," I was like, "No, no, nothing wrong with that." I said, "It's great." I said, "It looks awesome. Your pictures are great. They're different." I was like, "I'm surely not the only person to ever dress up as a Viking, and you know what I mean. You can't copy people, and you get a lot of people who get quite butthurt in this industry about, she's copied me, and it is mostly the females who do it, who say, she copied me, and guys just like, I've got this really cool idea. Who else wants to do it?
Well, that's really interesting, and that maybe that's a way to kind of lead into this interview today, because you're obviously, or you seem to be, an incredibly successful performer in the industry, and you have very, very high quality content, which is something that I very much appreciate, because I think, like many people coming into the industry, what are we but people on our phones?
Yeah,
We are filming at home. We're filming wherever we can, and we do the best we can with the materials available to us. But you just mentioned the Viking video there, and the trailer that was, so as of recording, the trailer that was released for that, it only dropped there the other day, and I'm looking at that going like, mother of God. I mean, did Scorsese film your porn? Like,
I'll
this
be
is
honest. That
ridiculous.
that one was not a mobile phone quality
I would
porno.
imagine so. I
Yeah,
would imagine so. Yeah.
yeah, that was actually filmed by Dick Bush. Don't know if you've heard of Dick Bush.
I haven't. What a name.
Yeah, brilliant name, Dick Bush. He films porno. He's got he showed me when we are there. He has a YouTube channel, and he had this series, and I can't think what it's called. And as soon as I started seeing it, I was like, this is very Red Dwarf vibes. And he was like, yeah, he goes, that's my inspiration. And he hired loads of like porn actresses and stuff. And it's like a mini series he developed. Like he built a spaceship in his attic kind of thing. Yeah, like the inside of a spaceship, and they're all there like commando, and like we're being shot at, and it's quite funny. So I'll see if I can find the name of that because that's hilarious.
That sounds I mean, obviously we'll discuss this, but that's definitely my thing. So
Yeah,
I am absolutely going to watch that
yeah,
after this.
and that it's not porno. It's just really cheesy, like sexual innuendo. Yeah, Red Dwarf.
That's so funny. Also, I'm thinking there's so many sci-fi series, not to digress, but there's so many sci-fi series which just lend themselves like some things you have to do a big massive readjustment of the storyline to make it fit in a porn storyline. Others you take a little half step to the right and it's just like, oh, this is porn now,
Oh,
you
that's
know?
pretty much like the Scream thing, the Halloween thing that I released. So with the Scream one, it's she gets a phone call, and it's like, "What's your favorite scary movie?" And she's like, "I don't like scary movies. I like hardcore porn." And I just come out with, "I want to see what your insides look like," and she just opens her legs, and it's like, "Oh," and I just shag the hell out of her. you know?
And I mean, like, you think about it, porn and horror, both are rated,
Yeah.
but the only difference being what's going inside her, I guess.
Yeah, and as well, I know I keep saying her. I've done that on the bisexual front. The one with the Ghostface, Jason, and the girl at home. That
Mm.
was funny. That was so fun to film.
Now actually, so I think this is a nice point to go because I want to ask you, like, you've made so many successful films,
Hmm.
you are a name in the industry. I want to go back to how did you go from your your life up to the point where you decided to do porn, and I'd love to know about your journey up to now. What's it been like for you, and what are some of the decisions and the fun and the other side of it that's happened along the way.
Okay, so literally full story. Like, who is Ethan Bradbury? Um, So yeah, I worked in the fitness industry since 2009. The whole personal trainer lark, got in through management, and then I wanted to open my own facility, open my own fitness studio slash gym 10 months before the lockdown hit for COVID.
Perfect timing.
So yeah, perfect timing. So it was literally a case of when you open a new business, you literally save to build it and you save to pay yourself a salary because you ain't getting paid from a brand new business. You ain't getting any money. And then COVID was starting to come about, funds were starting to dwindle off. And I was like, shit, if COVID comes and it goes worse and people aren't coming to gyms, it's like I'm losing my business. I'm gonna end up in a butt fuck ton of debt. I'm also going to end up losing my home because they'll just repossess. Like I've got a mortgage on it, but they'll just take it. You know, so I'll have no work, no business. I'll have no home. So I was like, I'm gonna start doing OnlyFans. But it wasn't. I was at because before that, while I was doing the gym, I was a fitness influencer. Yeah,
Ah, yes.
fitness influencer. I was sponsored by quite a lot of brands. Not going to name them because some of them are now dickheads, which I'll go into in a second. Some of them were great, absolutely spot on, loved them. Do you know what? One was a dickhead. That's all I'll say.
Well, we won't name and shame, but we can absolutely
Discuss.
discuss and rake.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
And very hypocritical of them as well. So anyway, so I was a fitness influencer and I was smashing that, I was nailing it. So I was already quite established and I had a big American fan base and a big Malaysian fan base. And I wasn't known as MrBritainX then.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oddly, I don't know why I was big in Malaysia. Not a clue why. I just was. And so anyway, I was getting asked about OnlyFans, and I was like, nah, no, I'm not doing that. Not for me. And I was always very sexual. Well, I've always been a sexual person. But I was like, I'm not doing porn. I've got a fitness career. I need to think about that. And then one of the guys who was like in contract with one of the companies I was in contract with, he was like, mate, he's like, have you thought about doing OnlyFans? I'm like, no, I keep getting asked all the time. So if I had 100,000 followers and I had 10% of them, like even 1% of them sign up, yeah, I'd probably do it. But I wasn't at 100,000 followers. But he showed me his what he was earning for OnlyFans. And I was like, fuck. And he's like, yeah. He goes, I don't even really show anything. I just post it on dick pic. And I was like, I didn't even know you did it. And he was like, yeah, it's good money. That easy. I thought I'll dabble with it. This thing happened with the business and COVID. And I was like, I'm not ending up on the street. Like, I will do anything to save this business, and then obviously not be homeless. And started doing it, and then I just done really well. I went from I didn't pay myself a salary for nearly a year to my bills to keep that gym was $7 grand a month. So the business grants didn't even cover nowhere near that during lockdown. I managed to get that business through lockdown. I managed to keep a roof above my head, paying bills, and I came out of it. I saved the business, but COVID had done its damage, and people weren't interested in the industry anymore, the fitness industry. And I was raking it in doing porn, OnlyFans, to the point that I was like, I actually enjoy it more. I didn't, because owning a gym, getting it through COVID, the stress. I was working 100 hours a week. So people go to me, oh, I don't have time to build an OnlyFans because X, Y, Z, and I've got a job. And I was like, I worked 100 hours a week for free. Literally for free. I wasn't even getting paid. Set up a new business, managing staff and a team, doing the social media marketing effort for the business, as well as building a very successful OnlyFans. Not I was just doing it for a little bit of pocket money. I've done bloody well. So yeah, I enjoy it. The friends I made through doing OnlyFans as well, as you like yourself,
Yep. Yeah.
Even though we're yet to meet in person, I'd still class you as a friend because we spoke a bit, I've met loads of people in person who I'm like, they just feel like they've been a part of my life for years. I feel I just love it. I love the comments you get from the fans, not even just fans, followers that you get on social media, the people you meet in the community, the industry, and I get to literally have sex for a living.
I mean, it sounds awful. Just sounds like the worst job you could possibly have. No,
sorry, I didn't finish actually. So that business, by the way, is gone. I sold it, got rid.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I literally now I'm just for a while now I've just been purely porn's what I do.
That's got so actually no the social aspect of it is something we will absolutely discuss now in a few minutes. But actually, I just want to go back just to that moment of so you've made the decision to start your OnlyFans. You've seen that it is a viable option. This is something that I get asked a lot: is what does that decision feel like? Is it a split second? I'm going to do this. Is there a big lead in? Do you need to go? Look, I need to do some soul searching, because that is something I find comes up rather a lot. I would do OnlyFans, except I feel ... and everyone has their own answer to that.
Yeah, as I said, people were asking me while I was doing the fitness influencing for a couple of years. I was like, what is it at first? Didn't even have a clue. And they're like, oh, you post porn and people pay you. And I was like, nah, not for me. And then people kept doing it, and it was the whole no. But once a friend who actually had done it shown me what like you could earn, I was like, it took me about 4 or 5 days of just right. I'll register an account. I'll see what it's about. I then messaged a few people who did it and asked about like just advice, tips. I signed up with someone to mentor me through the referral program. No offense to him, he's an all right bloke, but he was a shit mentor. Very, I'll be quite. If he listens, there you go. He gave me very basic advice. I wish if he gave me the advice that I know he should have had the knowledge of because he'd done it so long, I'd have earned a lot more money a lot quicker, and he would have got a lot more money back off me because the referral program is they get 5% back, don't they? So that's what I think you need to. Anyway, so I got the mentor, and then I just kind of dipped my toes in the water with the type of content I was releasing, and then it just slowly progressed to videos me in big orgies and stuff like that now. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's a theme that seems to come, is that it kind of it happens in stages. People might wonder, does it, I set up an OnlyFans on Thursday. By Friday, I've been in 17 people. I'm raking in the money, so many subscribers straight away. And it's obviously that's just, I would say for the majority of creators, that's not the case. Did you find when you were building your subscriber base, was it months? Was it weeks? Was it days?
I'd say within a month and a half, I was earning enough to pay all my bills and keep me afloat. And I went at it with that intent of I'm going to end up on the street.
Yeah. It's good
So,
incentive.
but the other thing as well is because I was a fitness influencer, I didn't actually use my fitness influencer pages to promote it. I started from scratch, but because I knew social media, I could grow quite quickly. So
Gotcha.
there was that perk to the point of I know how to get myself out there. I know how to be seen by more eyes. I know about marketing. Obviously, with being involved in business, obviously managing companies, gyms, fitness facilities, and my own gym, I know that side of things as well. Um, I'm quite artistic in the sense of I actually used to study art back in college, and I studied photography, and I'm really good at that side of things, how to take a picture, the quality of it, the edit. Um, so there is that. So I know it from behind the camera, but I've also done a lot of modeling shoots prior as well. So I already did model through the fitness influencing. So I would probably say I grew quicker because a lot of people who start OnlyFans, they're literally just like, yeah, I start OnlyFans. I've never done anything like this in any way ever before, and I will earn a lot of money. Most people who do it, I don't know what the statistics are, but a lot of people don't even earn what's equivalent to a minimum wage salary per month.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Mm.
someone who's been doing this 2 years, and I'm just like, how aren't you earning even a base salary? It's even pocket money, like a couple hundred a month. I'm like, at some point you need to realize what you're doing is very wrong. You know.
That it's something that I've spoken to a few creators about. The challenge, I guess, from starting from fresh, and then so I think I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because what we make is content, it's product, and
Yeah.
it's like any shop, like any retail, we sell it.
Yeah.
So on the other side of that is that you've got someone standing there, credit card in hand, and it's why do they spend money on your product? Why do they buy you? And that for me is that is a constant presence in my head when I'm making any kind of content. It's this has to be something worth spending money on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel the pressure of that?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Do I feel pressure? Well, pressure is because I just have goals.
It's actually, in a way, it's quite a general question, but also I would love to discuss the specifics as well because you are the CEO of MrBritainX. Like
Mm-hmm.
you are responsible for all of the marketing. You're responsible for all of the content. You are, I mean, by definition, you're responsible for your own salaries. And you're also something I would love to discuss. You're also your own HR manager. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you have an issue, when you need time, you have to be kind to yourself as well. So we might get to that in a minute because I think that's a really important thing I'd love to discuss. But just going back to it, right? The pressure that you must feel
Mm-hmm.
as your own CEO is how do you balance that while you're making this content?
Um, it's just about creating a system that works for you. I'll be honest though, I don't think I've got the balance at all. I literally am from the moment I wake up till when I go to bed, I'm working. People think OnlyFans is a case of, oh, you just post a picture of your dick or a video of you having a shag and then that's it done. No, not at all. Actually, 80-90% of this is social media marketing, networking, stuff like that. Um, I've currently got potentially 30 to 50,000 unread messages on my phone. And people are like, what? How would you live like that? And it's like, because I know a lot of them are just irrelevant and I might miss opportunities, but I can't do that. And so the people who are followers who just heard that and you go, he's replied to me. You've caught me at a very, very good time. I'm not trying to say I'm amazing, but like I'm involved in so many group chats, like loads and loads, and that's networking marketing, that's business. So I will prioritize of those certain ones, because I'm like, that one's really important to me. For example, the Desire events, I run that, so of course that's a priority. But then I'm in loads of others, then I get X, Y, Z, and then sometimes there's content creators who I'm trying to arrange things with, and they'll message and their messages get buried, and I don't get back to them for a few days. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, so there's pressure of that. There's pressure of actually creating the content that's quality. I think that's a huge part of it. The pressure of like actually earning a set income, targeting. That's just because, like, I think. Sorry, can you hear my dog?
Very much. And if we could also see the dog, I would be delighted.
There we go. It's Teddy.
Would
Teddy.
you look?
Say hello.
Hello, Teddy.
Put him down. That's okay. He's on the cables. Get away. That's one of the two. I've got a ginger one, got a red one. So the other pressure is just financial. It's just because I know this is very short lived. I'm not going to be doing this forever. There are a few men who are doing this into their 50s. But that's saying there's a few. I don't know many others, and I don't know how well they're doing as well. So I'm trying to knuckle down. As I'm saying, I'm working from sunrise till sunset with all the different aspects of filming content, editing content. That's pictures and videos, going on modeling shoots, traveling around the country, if not international, for filming. Then there's the speaking to people, and to social media, speaking to people. There's obviously you prioritize your paying subscribers. There's loads of pressure. And there was something you wanted to talk about before, saying obviously you're your own HR. Did you want to kind of flow into that?
So yeah, because when you describe your work like that, it sounds like, your only downtime is when you're asleep. But it's so crucial. Yeah. It's so crucial. You have to have switch off time. Just for your own mental health, you need to have that time. And, if I was to just go by what you've just said, it's like, well, when was the last time you had downtime? 2019. But how
You're
do
actually right.
Oh, that's a scary answer. Okay, so so how, if you can, what is downtime like for you, if there is any?
So I've actually said this to people. I could break a leg and be in hospital in a bed, and I will still be on my phone working. It's genuinely as honest as that. And people are like, "Are you crazy?" It's like I literally see a drop in my income on a day collabing, and people are like, "What? That's work? Yeah, that's towards sex work." Because I will travel across the country, I will have the day filming, and then I might travel back. That day, I've not been as present on social media. And because of that, I will literally see a dip in my income. But that's a day of working. So could you imagine a day where I don't even do that? And even on the day collabing, I will take a quick picture with the person. That's networking, that's promo. So if you could do that, a day in hospital, fucking hell. If you got a day sick in bed, I'm just like, Instagram, ask me a question. I'm dying. So it's so downtime. It isn't downtime. Social media and stuff can be quite relaxing if you do it well. Because I do enjoy it, but you've kind of got to do it on your own terms. Like I've got a camper van, as you've probably seen on my stories. The reason I bought that is getaway weekends. All through summer, I'm away every weekend. But when I'm away, I'm still typing away, like texting, replying, posting content. I'm actually taking content. I go to nude beaches quite a bit and take photos and stuff on there. Not of other people, nothing seedy. I go out the way. So when I go on holiday, I went on a big family holiday this year to Mexico. I was there for 2 weeks, and literally we were there all around the pool, and I was like, I'll speak to you all in 2-3 hours. They're like, what am I? I've got like, so that was my way of having a holiday. I'll just go 2-3 hours, leave me alone. I will do my work, and then you've got me for the day. And people are like, that's crazy. And I just, so it's like, so when someone sees you on a phone, they think, oh, you're just social media. What if you saw a man sitting there with a laptop round a pool in Mexico? You'd think he's fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's true though, isn't it?
Yep.
Your phone now is a mini laptop. That's what they are.
It is. I mean, like, you're right. Everything, certainly everything that we can do in our industry, there's at least a version of that technology on our phone. I mean, we've got cameras, we've got editing technology, but also all of social media. You are always plugged in. There's actually one thing that you mentioned there that I'd really love to touch on, is that now I presume, and I'm making a big assumption here, that the people listening or watching this podcast have at least a base knowledge of the industry, but some might. You use the word seedy, like it's not seedy, you know, the stuff that you do. And that is something that I think is a great hang up for people, is that, you know, working in porn, working in the sex trade, oh, it's seedy, oh, we don't want to talk about that. And in my experience, it's anything but. So have you found people, you know, would ask you questions like, you know, on how do you feel about what you do? And, you know, does your mother approve? Those kind of questions, you know, how do you, or, you know, what is your answer to that?
Well, I'm just gonna say this, Mum, if you're listening, because I never know, she might. She actually said something to me the other day where she described to someone what I did, because they asked about something, and they knew I was doing very well in what I do. And she's like, can you explain it? And she goes, well, he does it like this, through this, and he doesn't just do content. He actually he runs these events where he also helps people who, not just who are established in the industry with networking stuff, but people who are new. And I do mentor quite a lot of people as well, I find. And then when she said that, this woman just went, that's so amazing. Like, just hearing how you spoke about what your son done like that. And then my mum she replied with, well, he's my son. I'm proud of anything he does. And I was like, do you know what? That's really nice. And she told me that to my face, that she said that to other people. And I was like, that's really nice, you know? Because when I first told her, I was a bit nervous, not going to lie. Yeah. But I know my mum understands that I can do whatever I like, and nothing she can say will ever stop me. And she said that to my face as well. But at the same time, I will take my mum's opinion into consideration with anything I do.
There, like, one of the questions that I've got from my own family is, and it's always said with genuine concern, is, yeah, but is it safe? Oh, God. And that's something I would love to discuss with you, because, you know, I think there is still this preconception that working in the sex industry is, you know, I mean, it's short-lived because you're going to be short-lived, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to die.
Exactly, yes.
We're gonna die of chlamydia, all of us. Yeah. I'm actually gonna throw my hands up. Sorry, Mum, if you're listening to this, like I just said, but I've potentially, I don't know, I stopped counting how many partners I had back in 2009. I was quite sexually active then. Yeah. Anyway, then I got into quite a serious monogamous relationship, come out, obviously very sexually active again, and now I work in porn. God knows how many people I've slept with. I have never, hands up, no bullshit, caught an STI. Ever.
Statistically, that's impressive.
We're talking you know what I mean? Easy over 100 people.
I mean, you're doing many things right, but that's fascinating. And because you know, you're told when you're younger that if you are in a room with another person, you know, if you're a woman, you're going to end up pregnant. There you go, number one, and then you're going to catch everything, and you know, it's like,
I've had scares. I thought I caught something last year, but it ended up being a urinary infection. You know, I was like panicking because I was like, I've got symptoms. My dick's gonna fall off. I'm dead. You know, something like that. I was like, I'm not going to be able to be in this career. I've had a couple scares, But I am one of the few people in the industry who wears condoms.
Mm.
That's the thing. Everyone's like bareback, 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 but condoms are actually making a comeback. I don't know if you've noticed. That's within porn, I mean, not just in the world. Um, I'll be honest, the industry, I was saying, is it safe? I'm gonna say yes and no. It depends on the social circles of filming. Um, so a standard thing across Onlyfans, so we're not talking mainstream porn, is it's all down to the individuals anyway. So whoever
Mm.
works with who, it's not this is not a set rule, but it's just what people go by as a guide. Is they want a cert. A cert is a sexual health check with a full breakdown of every individual test. So reason being is if you got a text saying all results negative, you could have just got two swabs. You could have got one down your throat, one up your bum, and that's it. You might not have got any blood, you might not have got urine, but you'll just say all results negative. So you could sleep with a person, they could have chlamydia of the penis or vagina, whatever, but by having the breakdown, they're covered. And it
Mm.
has bloods, everything. And as long as that's dated within a period of time that the person they're comfortable with, then they'll work together. Like my rule is 4 weeks. I want to see that. Plus, I use condoms. A lot of people in the industry don't use condoms and they just want to see the cert. Getting tested every 4 weeks, miles better than what people do in normal world, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of people just don't get tested, and at maximum every 3 months. I actually, before I did porn, I used to get tested quite a lot when I was single, and I actually got told off by a clinic once because I was coming too often, and I was like, "It's my life. I'm very sexually active, so." But then I've had other sexual health nurses go, "No, you're doing the right thing." That nurse was a bit of a dick.
I had a nurse once who said something similar, and I mean, I had seen that particular nurse several times. So to be fair, I think it might have been a bad day or something like that. But yes, it was. It was in between a series of vaccinations I was getting for hepatitis B,
Mm.
and I had on two of those occasions. So we're talking maybe 2 months apart. I said, "Can I do a full set of bloods?" And she looked at me and said, "Why?" I said, "Well, for the obvious reason." And she said, "Yes, but you were in to whatever it was 6 weeks ago." I said, "Yes, and I have been with people since, and I would like to get tested."
Yeah, you could
Well,
have been.
no,
You could
she
have had
said
sex with
no.
how many people?
Oh, she actually refused me.
That no, that's out of
Uh,
order. That it's
so I was that's what I was kind of like. It was as frustrating as it sounds, but I was because you don't want to have an argument with your nurse. You're
no,
kind of like look. I mean, this is I'm based in Ireland. It's a free service, so
yeah.
I'm not going to say anything bad about that. But it's just like I'm trying to be responsible here.
Yeah, you're doing your due diligence to make sure you don't spread anything, and you can also pinpoint back where it came from because with the time period and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But as well, talking about safety within the industry, there's sectors like you're saying that was standard, like what most people do in OnlyFans. But people new to OnlyFans don't realize that, and they'll just collab, they'll just film with people, and then if that gets into the people who are doing their bit, because there'll be a cross of people checking certs, not checking certs, then you could pollute. I know it sounds really bad, pollute that pool of safer people with not so safe practices. But then people just got to learn. So it's about education, and I'm quite outspoken about this on social media. That I'm absolutely disgusted with how the use of PrEP has made people feel like they are invulnerable, is that the right
Mm.
word?
Yeah.
Invulnerable to any disease. Because PrEP is out there, people, so obviously the gay community mainly, because they're the ones who mostly use PrEP, they just they're not checking certs. I've gone to collabs and be like, right, there are certs that I'll ask them for it, and they go, what? What was you on about? I said, we've discussed this. I've said I need certs to film with you. Like, you're the first person to ever ask. I'm like, I've seen you collabing loads of times. You're all over the internet shagging people. You're not checking for things. Just because you're on PrEP does not mean you have chlamydia. And they go, yeah, no, but we get tested quite a lot. And if we have it, we just get treated and we crack on. But if you just asked in the first fucking place, you're making these diseases what's it called? Where antibiotics just don't work anymore? Resistant.
Oh, Brazil. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So and you're making like super chlamydia, and like they've actually told me at the clinics because I do speak to them quite a lot. 'Cause, like I'm like on I interviewed one of the nurses, and then now I'm like the sexual health clinic's best friend. In general,
Brilliant.
they just love me. They fast track me for the monkeypox vax and everything. They're great. Um, so anyway, they were saying they've about how that's like double the doses of some antibiotics because they became resistant because how people were just catching things and just treating it and then catching and treating, and eventually they're not going to work, and then people are just going to be left with permanent gonorrhea.
It is. It is something that in all, if you are sexually active, you need to be responsible. It is as simple as that. I do feel that I think you have been. First, I'm going to blow smoke up your ass now for a second, so enjoy that.
Thank you.
But I think you have been a fantastic spokesman, whether you set out to be or not, for safe practices in the industry. Because the nature of what we do, it is person to person. And therefore, I mean, what is the fastest way of contracting anything? It's from somebody else. PrEP is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful drug. It is literally a miracle drug. And I mean, I
agree.
Yeah. And you know this, we've had this conversation before. Like, I strongly feel if you are sexually active and you can be on PrEP, you should be on PrEP. That is how I feel. And yeah,
sorry, quickly for those at home listening who don't know what PrEP is, do you want to explain it?
Well, yeah. So what PrEP? So pre-exposure prophylactic, and the task of this drug is to stop the HIV, the virus, in its tracks. So if you are exposed, but you are using PrEP correctly, it will stop it from taking root. So it is a prior version of post-exposure prophylactic. So if you feel you've been exposed, you can go to your local A&E or ER, depending on where you are in the world listening to this, and you will be given a drug which is called PEP, and that will it will kill it in your red blood cells so that it doesn't sit into your white blood cells, which then you cannot get rid of it once it's in your white blood cells. It is. It's a it is honestly, it is a fantastic. In a way, it's like a sledgehammer version of the daily meds that a person who is positive will take because it will stop it from spreading.
So what we're getting at for the audience is PrEP is amazing, but there's a big ass group of people in this industry who take the piss because they're on PrEP, who think they're not spreading stuff. And I'm very outspoken about the people who do that. You're a bunch of dickheads. And if that stops you wanting to work with me, I don't care. Or you can just say, fair play to him. He's being careful. I think I'll be a bit more careful in future, but I like him because I'm not having a vicious attack at you individually. I'm just saying if you're listening, you think shit, I could have been a bit more careful. Just please take that on board and be more careful and just check certs. And if you want to bear back, just start checking certs because these people who are working in the industry who are using PrEP, they're getting checked. I know they are. They get checked regularly. They just don't think to ask each other for the breakdowns.
It is, and it's if we put aside for one moment the health aspect of it, if you unknowingly, and so I'm not saying that everyone who doesn't check cert is doing it deliberately, but if you unknowingly bring an infection into a scene, you're technically putting people out of work for however long it takes for that to clear up.
Yeah, it's also how it can affect people's personal lives as well, because people have partners. People forget about that. And then also you could give someone a bad reputation. Anyway, shall we move on to some more fun topics?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So spoilers to those at home. Before we came on this, so there's a series of questions, and we've touched on some of them already, and we're going through it. But there's one that I want to ask is, do you have a favorite collab that you've done?
Actually, no. Reason being is I could say I've got many favorites, and I have favorites for all sorts of different reasons. Like the Viking one that I done, that was so fun because I just didn't expect it to be so fun. No offense to the people involved. Two friends of mine, Rebecca Goodwin, Viking Will. I thought Viking wise, I knew it was going to be a good threesome, but the Viking side, I didn't expect to be so fun. Like I was there, we were doing like a pre-build up storyline. I do this accent, and then Viking Will. So Viking Will obviously should be good at being a Viking. He'd done his accent, his voice, and I was like we're recording it. I'm straight faced. I'm going, why the hell did you just sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger? And he was just like, this is my accent. I was, oh, how have you done it? And I was just like, but you sound like Arnie. He's like, I can't do anything else. But it's funny. But then no, it was good. And then actually mid scene, it's not public knowledge, and it needs to be. You've seen Will. You've seen his long, luscious locks.
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
Did you know they caught on fire mid scene?
I did not.
Yeah. it was like,
sorry. First of all, I presume he's okay. I
he's
presume
okay.
He would have said if he was. Yeah,
he
okay.
is okay. I wouldn't have said it, and I wouldn't be laughing about it. But fuck me, literally. Becky's up on the table. I've got her legs up. I'm drilling her. He's fucking her throat. And there's a candelabra thing of horns, like deer horns, antlers, holding candles. Will's obviously leaning over. His hair's just been at the wrong thing. And as we're going, we just we smell first, and then we hear, and he's just like whipping his hair around like crazy, like pouring it out. And we stop, and then we're like, and I'm like, fuck. Like, you're lucky. And because I said lucky, I meant in the sense of it didn't go worse because he still had his hair. I couldn't even tell. I just could smell, and I heard the sizzle. His hair looked fine, but he's not seen it yet. And the look, he's like right at me because I said he was lucky for getting his hair burnt. I'm like, no, you're lucky you didn't lose your entire head of hair, you know? So that was quite funny. And then we just, once it was sorted and he kind of like, let me have a look in the mirror, see the damage. We were like back into the scene, and it was a good laugh. It was a good crack. There's that's one. Another one. I'm trying to think. I had a scene with Bo Butler recently from America. I don't know if you know who he is.
I do, yeah.
And
I'm familiar with his work.
I'm familiar. And it was just a really good filming. This is just a kind of an example of something on the opposite end. It's with Becky. We made like lots of TikToks and Viking stuff, and it was just so much fun. And I really got into character, which I didn't expect. Bo, I don't like the whole show up, film, leave, gone.
Yeah.
But it kind of had to be because of our schedules. I was like briefly visiting. He had other things like to do as well while he was in the UK because he's from, but we just really got on, and the scene was just so fluid, so organic. There was none of this. Sometimes there's a lot of stage production of stopping, give me a minute, I just need to kind of get myself there for the cum shot. It was very much, it was just a nice sex session. So there's that kind of one. That was good. But then the way I've collabed many times is I kind of like have a house party and just have fun. So make it like literally just invite people around and we just like do a bit of beer pong. Let's do some strip beer pong, have fun with it, go that way. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't like that. But this is and what I'm doing is describing the different types of very much stage production, Viking, cosplay porn, come and go, quick porn, and genuine, organic, real life. Getting friends round, having a laugh. But there's one where a group of us, we just rented a cabin for the weekend, and there's literally like pictures and videos of me like pulling a moonie and slapping my ass up against the glass doors and having a good laugh. And that's what I think some people prefer that, and some people prefer the stage. That's why I think I like to provide quite a variety of, let's get some production value porn, and there's some real, like, one of the best videos that's gone out is where it was like a 3-minute clip of just get your dick out, and I just sucked the dick for a few minutes, like like very quick snap. You know what I mean? I enjoy it all. I really do. I've got a big ass orgy coming up soon. I think I'm going to enjoy that, and if I don't, I'll be surprised. Oh, a fun one. English Tom and Wrapped in Plastic. In that scene, there was 2 virginities popped. Wrapped in Plastic, she lost her double penetration virginity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I also, Tom lost his gay virginity to me. I fucked him in the ass.
So that's bloody impressive on 2 fronts. One is that it looks fantastic. I have seen the scene. It looks fantastic. But two, well done, Tom.
Yeah.
Looked like you've been doing it for years.
To be fair, I mean, it was a lot of build up and there's some numbing cream in that, like within the lube. I didn't even realize till after, because it was wrapped in plastic. She was like, "Yeah, it's got like a numbing agent thing in it." I was like, "Oh, didn't realize." So it was a fisting lube apparently.
Yes, and there is some people would be going like, yes, that lube. Other people would be like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, he wasn't fisted, but I've got a girthy penis, so it was probably appropriate. And to lose a virginity to a dick like mine, I've never had anyone lose a virginity to me. Like it's, I said to him like, what toys have you used? And he showed me some toys, and I was like, you should be okay. And there was one point in the scene, I was like, this ain't gonna happen. And he was like, just ram it in. And I was like, I was like, that ain't happening. That's not how you do anal. Definitely
it
not.
really, if there's anyone listening to this hasn't done anal, you ram nothing.
Yeah.
You take time. You take them out for dinner. You meet their parents. You do not ram anything in.
I don't know about the meeting the parents.
Listen, look, there's a kink for everything.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of favorite scenes. There's so many fun ones. Yeah, there we go.
So obviously in that you've described, having people come around to, your home, which is so this is your life. This is what you do. It is also is part of your personal life. So has there been a challenge in balancing, I'll describe it as closing the door to other people and your own life at home? How, or has that been a challenge?
So you're on about separating like my vanilla life and my porn life.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not an issue at all because I'll be honest, my normal life is kind of slowly ceasing to exist. um, I know it sounds really bad, but loads of people know me from my vanilla life. But I'm finding being in the porn industry, the friendships I'm making are becoming so much stronger. And because my life is like just work, 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 being able to work and have friendships through it is a massive, massive help. If I didn't have the friendships I've made through this job, I don't think I'd be doing it. I'd have probably gone, fuck this. I probably wouldn't enjoy it. And if I didn't enjoy it and the amount of work I'm putting in, I wouldn't do it. So I find it's quite easy. And I actually speak to my vanilla friends and family about like friends I've got in the industry. So, for example, Goddess Goff, she's like my best mate. Yeah. And I'll say, oh, Goddess Goff's this, or I'll say Viking Will this, because I'm really good friends with him, or I'll say Rebecca this, or, like yourself. It'll be like, oh, I'm being interviewed by a friend, Sean, Trekkie. So, by the way, Sean, just quickly drop what's your ats at the minute, just so people know.
And actually, good phrasing as well. So my at the minute is Prince Trekkie on Twitter and Instagram. Actually, I think about that because I changed them so often. And maybe actually that I'll
go
lead
into
a
that
question
next.
for you for that one. Yeah. So I do. I change them quite a bit, but yeah, Prince Trekkie is me at the moment. Enjoy my content. There's lots of my bum and knob, but so I have found rebranding.
But no, before we go into that, let me finish. But yeah, no. So
this isn't your interview.
Yeah, no, it's just. So I'm fine with. I used to be quite keep it separate, but then I don't know. There's certain things I keep to myself, and there's not much of it. AKA where I live. I'm vague.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had one person try to blackmail me. Did I tell you this? Have I ever told you?
I think, but actually, if you wouldn't mind, maybe tell me that story
So
again.
I've had a couple instances, but one was from being the sexual community trying to blackmail my real life, and one was the opposite way, real life trying to blackmail the real life blackmail the other way.
Yeah.
So the The one from real life, people tried to leak all my content locally. They're like, this guy's doing porn. The guy who's got the gym, he does porn. It's disgusting. And they all sent it around. And I actually had someone, I was like, yeah, mate, that's me. Like, I don't, because I wasn't ashamed. I just didn't ram it in everyone's faces. So I was like, I'm not ashamed. I said, I'm earning this much. And I sent him a screenshot and he was like, you earn that much? I was like, yeah. And he hadn't spoke to me in years. And I was like, do you want to do it? Here's my referral link. I went straight onto Twitter. And no, it wasn't Twitter, it was Instagram. And I posted on Twitter. I randomly happened to have a fair few £1,000 just in cash next to me because that's how I roll.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's from modeling work. You know, from doing porn, I also get modeling work. I do declare it, people. You know, I'm not hiding what I've got an accountant. Everything's above board. He's actually a really good accountant. Anyone who does this, by the way, get an accountant. Don't do it yourself. Yeah. So anyway, I just happened to have a load of money, and I literally went to Instagram going, "How's my struggling OnlyFans?" I pulled out like about £1,000 and started wiping tears. So you know what I mean. And then I also went to Twitter and done a video of going to the person who's just tried spreading all my stuff locally, and pretty much kind of trying to ruin my career of working in a gym. I was like, "You've literally just made me a fair few £1,000 just because my OnlyFans just ran. Everyone just started subscribing.
Thanks for the free advertising."
Yeah, exactly. Free advertisement. But the other one, which was worse. So people think, oh, getting out to the public is bad. I'm confident. I've got a big dick and I can laugh it off. And yeah, I know that sounds like that's a bit bigger, but it's one of them. If you can just go, I own it. I am what I am. I own it. People start off being quite neg, and the people you thought wouldn't be neg are neg, and the people you thought would be neg were quite supportive, which I found interesting. Some people who they'd just be like, "Oh, you do porn? That's so cool. Fair play. Really respect you for that. Putting yourself out there." But then people you thought would be supportive, like, "Oh my god, you're doing that." Yeah, so you get that. But the other one, there's someone from the OnlyFans world. They were clearly not a proper serious content creator. They were just in it to get their end away.
Yeah.
He was like, "I want you to film with me." I was like, "No, not interested. Sorry, because you're not in this seriously." And he followed me when I was a fitness influencer. I've learned, so he knew about where I was based, where my gym was, stuff like that. And he was like, "Well, if you don't," he's like, "I'm going to come to your gym and like while it's open, and then make it really uncomfortable for you." Yeah, so you get that. So he's blackmailing me that he's going to out me to everyone what I do if I don't shag him. So, like, what goes through people's minds?
I mean, they're you know, I suppose to finish there, what happened there?
So I replied very swiftly with, "Oh, you're going to do that, yeah? Feel free. Come to my gym. You know exactly where it is. So I will be happy to grab you by your head and throw you out that fucking door." And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Do it. I'm the boss. I ain't going to get sacked for doing that. I own the thing." You know, I was like, I am not scared. You know, as well, you know, I'm not a violent person, but no one blackmails me like that. No one does it to my friends. Do you know what I mean? I do not sit well with bullies. Anyone tries to bully anyone, no, because you do get it.
It's I mean, there's so many levels to it, but on a very base level, it's the arrogance. Yeah. It's the, I have this power over you. And it comes back to that thing earlier, because you do this seedy thing. You do this thing that, you know, oh, I know you won't want people to know about this. Now, obviously, we've discussed the fact that I want everyone to know about this because I want the bloody revenue. But, you know, like, oh, I'll tell everyone, you know, please do. But yes, it is. It's that arrogant. It's that judgment that it sits over the industry. And I mean, I won't sit here and lie to you. I have been judged, and I hold my hand up, several years back, I held that judgment within myself, that it was this seedy world, that it was, you know, unsafe, which we know it isn't, that it was, or well, actually, I suppose that it can be, and it's up to the individual to be safe. And that it takes, I think, a little bit of exposure, and I don't mean just watching porn. You know, I hazard a guess that everyone watching and listening to this has watched porn. Otherwise, what an interesting podcast that they've chosen to partake in today. But so I mean, so do you still find any frustrations? Now, you've said that a lot of your friends these days work either in the industry or have a knowledge of the industry, but do you still find, having to defend what you do?
No, not the job at all in any way. Just because I think, I don't know, I just the friendship groups I've got, they're all great. They understand what I do. And anyone who's new, because I don't swerve it or beat around the bush. I just tell them what I do, and they're always like, "Oh, fair play, that's cool." Yeah, it's always quite. I think it's the way you tell people massively impacts their perception of it. If you say it because I'm unapologetically me, I live by that. Be you, and people are drawn to that, and they appreciate it, and they give you respect. If you're like, yeah, do a bit of porn, that's the only way I can afford to live, and even though that's a very valid point for a lot of people, and it's the fair play, you're doing whatever you can to get you and your kids by if you have kids or keep a roof over your head. But there's the way you've done it with a shy hesitance, and you're making it sound like it's a seedy thing. But if you're like, yeah, I do porn, it's fucking ace.
You're inviting, and I'm not judging people who do this, but by discussing it that way, you are inviting. Yeah, I know it's it's wrong.
I feel sorry for you for doing it, and you could be earning like 10 grand a month, if not more, and people will still be like, yeah, do porn. It's like, you're earning 10 grand a month, like, and some people are doing this and just getting by, but still, just you've made the choice to do it. Own it, really. So no, yeah, people don't really judge me now, and those who do, I don't have time for. The only thing that I do find I get judged for is my sexuality, and not massively. It's mainly ignorance. It's obviously, I'm bisexual. I've said girls and guys I work with here quite many times. It's just
you're what?
Yeah, exactly. If anything, I could be pan, yeah, pan, yeah. But no, I'm bi. You could put me in the pan category, but I'll just say I'm bi. But the reason being is it's ignorance, where it tends to be from the straight community, where it's more ignorance, where they just when you've slept with a man, you're instantly gay. And I was like, I prefer women. But yeah, because I had this girl, it's quite funny. We were in a bar, and I was explaining this to my mate about this biphobia thing, but I was saying sorry, my dog's making noise. And he was like, "Really, you get that? I don't see why." And then we were having a few drinks, and this girl just looked up. She went, "Isn't it a shame all the good-looking ones are gay?" And she knew full well I was bi. And I just looked at her and went, "You are?" And so, "Isn't it a shame all the good-looking ones are gay?" I went, "I think you'll find, love, that I'll smash you better than anyone in this bar." And she's like, and my mate was like, "Oh my God, I see it. I see it. It happened." I'm like, she didn't mean any harm. She was trying to pay me a compliment. It was, but it's an ignorant comment of she just labeled me as gay. And I was like, I will fuck you left, right, and sideways, But yeah, but there's that, and then I do get biphobia, in the sense of it's mainly the negative biphobia is mainly from the gay community. Whenever they see me with a girl, I get shit for it, but because I'm so unapologetically me, they it's turned around to the gay fans who just go, I know he's bi. He's sticking to his guns. We can't force him into just making gay porn. If he posts a straight video this week, he's going to post a gay video next week. And you know what? It's going to be better than all the gay videos that most of the guys post, where they just have a very close up of their dick going in a bumhole. When I'm like, here's everything. You see faces, you see moans, you see cum shots, you see bukkake, you see dog again making noise. You see it all. You see his arsehole out. You see, you know what I mean? So if you don't like the straight porn, you just don't look at that one, but scroll down, you'll see a an amazing gay video there, or a bisexual video where I've got both. And do you know what? We are so rare in the UK. Bisexuals are everywhere, as you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But bi content creators who are male, I can count them on my hand if you want, really. Just the show face. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bisexual guys who they message me who are like, "Oh, I'll do that scene with you, but I want to wear a mask." And I just go, "No, I'm not working with you if you wear a mask." It's actually for my own safety of not losing my accounts. They actually just think I just don't like people wearing masks. I'm like, well, actually, no. If I tag you, yeah, you're tagged, and OnlyFans will accept it. But if OnlyFans change their rules and say we have to see their face to prove that that's them, that content's null and void. If I have a model release form, it stands for shit. It stands for nothing because they're wearing a mask. So I done a Halloween scene, didn't I? As I was saying, the Scream one. I get demasked at the end of it. They see who I am. I've done another one where I'm Jason. There's a glitch at the end going, right, and here we are. Take the mask off because they know then that it's me and that piece of content.
There is, I know there is obviously a market for anonymous porn, and that's fine. But yes, it's very interesting to remember that there is not so much a set of guidelines, but there is T's and C's, particularly to OnlyFans. Are you on any other platforms where there are different terms and conditions that you find that you have to adhere to?
They're all the same, really. They're less strict in the type of content, but I use ManyVids, and they're a bit more comfortable with you can go outdoors because you can't do that on OnlyFans. You know, if someone does do videos on OnlyFans outdoors, they could end up getting their account taken down unless they have a location release form. Some sites allow you to do piss porn, stuff like that, water sports. I haven't actually got any of that. I think I might do some like where in future, but I haven't got any now. But they all require model release forms.
Mm-hmm.
They all require people to be tagged. But rules change because even though people are OnlyFans go, just tag me. I don't want to do a model release form. I won't work with you unless you do a model release form. I'm like, why? And I'm like, what if the rules change? What if OnlyFans disappears and you decide to go to Fansly and you go to exclusive? You go to, you know what I mean? If everyone goes their separate ways, I can't tag you. I need that form for future proof because I could still sell this content in 20 years if I wanted. So there is that.
It's evergreen. I mean, we are still as a consumer base, we are still watching porn from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Yes, porn has changed a bit since then, but it doesn't mean that content still isn't being consumed. And when, as we've discussed, the effort that goes into making these scenes, it's frustrating to think that could just disappear like that because someone didn't sign a form or for other reasons like that.
Could you imagine you were like a super fan of someone, or just a big fan, not even a super, just a big fan, and his name is Dave. Yeah. And then Dave is now 45. And you're like, and Dave's like, do I want to see porn that I've done when I was 25? You'd be like, yeah, I want to see what you look like back then. I want to see, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So you could make quite a bit. Like a fan, I think, would find it quite appealing. I would say if, or you're someone, no, let's reword it. I end up a big famous like movie star. Yeah, not even big, just I start acting in films. Because to be fair, I would be tempted. If anyone wants to put me forward for an audition, you know where to contact me. Yeah, I would. It'd be quite fun. And you never know, it could take off. And if I had loads of porn from back then, I'd dish it back out. It'd be well fun.
And think of, I mean, it's like, I describe it to, say you were the best singer of the world, which I assume you are, and you go on something like Britain's Got Talent or the X Factor or something, and you can go from relative anonymity to you've got a huge social media following just from that exposure. So absolutely, You
Mm.
know, you get cast in a film. Cast in a different. I mean, I've seen several of your films. You have
Yeah,
been cast in films. You know,
different genre.
uh, yeah, well, I mean, it's not dissimilar to horror. I've seen you do horror. You know, it's
Mm.
just as we said earlier, different things going into person. Um, and then yeah, absolutely, you'll see a boost in following, a boost in fandom, and I think as well that ties back into an awful lot of what you were saying about there's no shame in anything that you do, because why would there be? But also it doesn't mean that just because you've now technically changed industries that right we won't talk about that. Yeah, I think isn't the common joke that comes up a lot is like, listen, I had some bills to pay when I was in college and I made some films I wasn't really proud of. I'd be very proud of it. Are you
Mm.
kidding me? Get that out there.
I think, yeah, it's the mentality. Like my attitude of is I'm very proud of what I've done, what I'm doing, shall I say? And there's some actors out there who've done that where they've gone, yeah, I did that. It's out there. I can't stop it. And the ones who try to hide it, it gets leaked. Like I've seen the current Colin Farrell porn.
The name that was just going through my head. Yep.
Yeah, when he was bald when he'd done Daredevil.
Yep.
And that wasn't porn. That was a release. That was like a leak, wasn't it? He recorded it with a woman, and yeah. But I think like Pam Lanson wasn't. That was again. It was a dodgy recording, wasn't it?
That was it. Yeah, that was leaked against her knowledge.
Yeah, that's shit. It is shit. To be fair, that's not fair. Like stuff like that. I know I just said Colin Farrell, um, but any of these actors who did porn before, like to be fair, I think Pam Am just embraced it, didn't she? It got leaked without knowledge, and she was like, "Fuck it."
She did, because that conversation came up recently when the miniseries Pam
Yeah.
and Tommy came out, which I suppose history repeating itself. Again, they didn't seek her input, they didn't seek her permission before making that. And it's a difference as well. So what we do is informed content creation.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing, we're enjoying it. It's everyone who is involved is well aware that there's multi cameras and people will consume this porn. I had this conversation recently with someone about, we were discussing leaked sex tapes.
Mm.
And we were actually discussing Kim Kardashian, as one does. And the question that was posed is, oh, well, why did you film it if you didn't want it out there? I said, well, it's not like that. It's
Mm.
really not like that.
No.
Because there is a difference of, I am filming this for public consumption and I'm filming this for myself.
Yeah. This is the whole thing with OnlyFans and tagging and model release forms as well. That's where people will go to leak shit.
Mm.
So like I was discussing this the other day. It's like Twitter's. I think eventually they're going to have to somehow go like OnlyFans, where if you're not safe for work content profile, that you're going to have to tag whoever's in the video. It'll have like an algorithm thing that says there's 3 people here, you've got to tag all 3.
Mm-hmm.
And those 3 that you tag will have to be verified above 18, because you know what I mean?
I think as well, that's actually funny that's part of a larger conversation about there is now. I am a serial Twitter user. I have to say I do enjoy Twitter, but Twitter will allow anyone who has an internet connection can have a Twitter account.
Yeah.
And what is it? Guy's name, bunch of numbers, has an opinion, and they want you to know about it because they have freedom of speech, or of course. But the danger of that is then you could have, now look, you're MrBritainX, but I could just come along and say, hello, I'm MrBritain.x, and just recycle all of your
It does
a
happen
problem.
quite a lot.
Yeah.
I was in the works of actually developing my own platform. I don't think I ever spoke to you about that.
No, I don't think
so. It wasn't another OnlyFans because a billion people are doing that. Mine was actually a social media thing, and it all ended up going tits up because it was just way too beyond my reach at the time.
Gotcha.
But it was a case of, this whole blue tick thing that Instagram does,
yes,
and stuff. Everyone could do that. Every single person. And it was designed for you're a fan account, like a normal person, but if you're a content creator, because the whole thing of this was porn based. Yeah. But if you were a content creator, you had to do a verification process. So I would, but it's still social media. There's no subscription, nothing like that. It's just a safe place. You're allowed to post links. You're allowed to do all X, Y, Z. But everyone who was content creator porn had to be verified, and you're blue ticked. And then anyone who claimed to be a content creator who had no blue tick was obviously not them.
Well, I do hope you come back to that idea, because I would love a platform like that, particularly because, I mean, as we've discussed, the anonymity of social media can be an issue. Sometimes it can be a safe place as well, which is good. But yes, on several of the social media platforms, if you post a link, you can hop, skip, and enjoy your ban for the next however long, you know?
Yeah. Now, this one, I mean, I could go on about it for ages. There was so many different elements to it, like verification systems, review systems, stuff like that. And it just kind of got to a point where at the time it's just not doable, and the amount of stuff I've got going on, but might be something I could come back to.
That is grand. And absolutely, I am happy to steal that idea at any point.
Feel free. Anyone else who wants to steal this idea, I could have been a multimillionaire by now from it, but if you want to go ahead and do it, do it.
That's that. I mean, and there you go. Informed consent. As is all. You know. This. Speaking
I'll
of
be
being
honest,
a multimillionaire,
before anyone steals it, if you want a partner, because there was a hell of a lot more to this than what I've just. The reason I've only just had to steal that, because that was like, that was a tip of the iceberg little thing. There was a lot of stuff. It was good. It was good. Anyway, go on.
So on the topic of, so I've got a few more questions for you before I release you back into, well, someone else. Brass tacks, without discussing numbers, what's your best month?
Roughly, I don't know. I've obviously, it's like, I'm not, even though I do very well, I'd say it was above 10K.
Wow.
But
wow.
It tends to hold steady for me. Yeah.
Okay, that's good, because yes, obviously it being a OnlyFans specifically, it being a subscription-based model, months vary. It's quite hard to do a budget sometimes based on it, because
it can do that, but at the minute I'm at a steady. I've changed my system, the way I do things. I've now moved from a pay-per-view content base, where if someone now subscribes to my platinum page, because I've got two platinums on, I'm pushing platinum, I'm saying everyone I recommend do, because it's no pay-per-view. Once you're on it, I don't charge extra. And so my one that was doing well has gone like dipped, and then this is kind of, they've met in the middle, and they're both doing well. And even though this one, the old one, the pay-per-view content, the original, is still doing well, I advise anyone go to my platinum, because it's much more better value for money, and I'm seeing fans are just happier there.
Yeah, I think that's
anyway.
No, that's a great point, because obviously, yes, there's different models you can use across OnlyFans. How much is your platinum page? So if I want to subscribe today, what am I going to whip out on the credit card?
It's $24.99. Okay. And you might say, oh, that's quite expensive. But on my pay-per-view page, the old one, it was $12.99, and I was selling videos of full sex for $29.99. And people were buying them because they're not trying to toot me on trumpet. They are that awesome. Honestly, there's a scene where I've got 9 girls, and there's a hen do, and I'm butler in the buff, and and I don't just send out a 10-minute clip. They are like up to an hour, you know. Anyway, so I could sell them, but on there's $24.99 included with not just that video, but all my videos that I do. They're there, and you don't get charged extra. And I think I've got a deal sometimes. Currently, it's 30% off for new subscribers for your first month.
Excellent.
So again, what's that, $17.99, something like that?
I ain't no maths man, so I'm going to take your word for that one. So that is grand. I realize I'm kind of flashing through questions now, but does professional sex ruin personal sex?
Yeah, by the way, that noise that sounded like wanking then was my dog doing a shake, in case you thought that.
The timing is perfect.
When you say, does it ruin it? No, I value it a lot more, personal sex, because I enjoy professional sex. I do. But I think between you and your partner, personal sex shouldn't be forgotten about, from both parts of the relationship. So not just me filming going, oh, fuck, I'm tired, I've been having sex all the time, I don't want to have it. But I think your partner should not forget as well that it's important for you to feel, the sexual connection and feel wanted from your partner. Just because you're getting sex elsewhere doesn't mean you don't want it from your partner. Um, and it makes it more special because cameras are off. It's just you two in that moment, you know? You're not trying to perform for anything. And I'm not saying your sex gets lazy. It's just a lot of the sex that you have on camera, you're doing it for the angles.
Yep.
There's certain positions that you can, turn, move your head. And I'm very like thoughtful of the camera being on. When I'm on camera, I'm like, I look down, I'm like, move your fucking hand because it's blocking the dick. You know what I mean? But when you're just having sex at home, you do what feels the best. It's not always about the camera angle and stuff.
Of course, I mean that's in terms of the porn I consume, yes, I do like to see everything,
Yeah,
and yeah, you sometimes you see the videos which are just like, well, you look like you're having a good time. I've no idea what you're doing, but you
yeah,
look like you're having a good time.
yeah.
Uh, is there when you were starting off, was it difficult to find your first collab? So not sex partner, but your first like, yes, okay, sign all the forms, everything like that.
No, not at all. I didn't collab for a long, long time. Not because I couldn't get them. I just didn't want to. I was in a relationship, and then I collabed with my partner, because I was like, and then it was kind of like I was bisexual anyway. It's like, right, I can collab, but I'm going to collab with girls. I'm a partner, and then so I was having one-on-ones. Well, we're having bi threesomes, and then we were having I was doing one-on-ones with girls, and then it was like, Joe, what does it matter that I have sex with other men on camera? Because by the way, even though people listening, I'm more into women, I actually have a male partner. He's the only male partner I've ever had. But so the agreement was like he's my male partner, and I miss Fanny. Yeah, so it's like we have sex, and then I also can have sex with girls. That was how it kind of went. But then it kind of got into, yeah, you can have sex with other guys, but he's really relaxed about it. He's like, do what the fuck you like. But I'm the one who's like, yeah, I'm gonna work with this person. Okay, he's like, do what the fuck you want. He's like, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, okay, just want to check. And he's like, just whatever, sound. So once I knew I had people who wanted to work with me, once that was kind of that point, it was like, okay, cool. And I don't just be like, somebody goes, let's collab. Okay, let's collab. I like to
Yeah.
chat with a person, get to know. I don't work with just anyone. If there's no organic level of like banter and just getting on, I don't ever want to work with that person.
And I think that's something I found. I mean, there's the
Mm,
people I would work with again, and people I'm not blacklisting them, but yeah, I didn't really enjoy the experience.
yeah.
It's like any other colleague. I mean,
I,
these are colleagues at the end of the day.
And even though I'm saying that, it can still backfire. You can have like a bit of back and forth click with someone. You could get on, and then you meet in person, you just go, that ain't there.
Yeah, and same as well, maybe not the same as, but similar as when you're say in your vanilla life, you're chatting to someone online and it's great, right? And you meet up for a drink and you're like, oh, that wasn't your profile picture.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you do get that. Yeah, yeah.
um, so I think we've covered so much. Is there so in consuming your content, so Ethan Bradbury specifically, is there anything that you would like your viewers, your subscribers to know about you as a person?
Oh my God. I think that's quite hard for me to answer because I'm so transparently me that I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like I hide anything. So I feel like they do know it. What would I like them to know? Do you feel that I'm quite transparent about who I am on social media and stuff?
I think so. I think from speaking to you, obviously before today, we've spoken a lot on over the phone. And from seeing your content online, I do feel that you are you. I mean, a lot of people, for many years, they'll play a character. It's fine. That's that's as I sit here in Star Trek gear. Believe me, I understand that. Um, and I feel, and I'm answering the question for you, so I'm putting this to you, but I feel like it must take a weight off your shoulders
By being transparent.
by being transparent and not having to separate Ethan the performer from Ethan the guy who's going to buy some milk down the shop.
Yeah, literally that. Because some people they've got this sex persona, this sex worker identity, and they're not their stage name. My name is Ethan, just so you're aware. I am me. What you see is what you get. And yeah, like, all right, maybe a little thing that people don't realize, because I have found this, because I used to have it till last week in my Twitter bio. I have ugly duckling syndrome, and apparently I have personality. And people are like, but you're not ugly. And I'm like, that's what ugly duckling syndrome means, without trying to toot my own trumpet. I grew up as the fat kid. In high school, I had the severest acne ever. It looked like there was a growth trying to come out my head. And a lot of people who actually work in the adult industry do have this. So when they were younger, they weren't like the hottest person ever. But anyway, my story is, because of that, I have a personality. I'm not. I don't think I'm a dick. I always root for the underdog. I hate bullies, and I wasn't bullied. People tried it, but I sorted that out very easily. Yeah, it's just so. Yeah, I'm kind of a bit of an agony uncle for people. I mean, you've probably witnessed that yourself. Don't know what it is. Oh, turn that alarm off. I had an alarm. So yeah, people always seem to kind of be drawn to me, and so just to talk to. Hence the 50,000 unread messages, because I avoid them. No, it's not really that. It's I try to give time to people, but so yeah, I'm as transparent as can be. But people sometimes think that I have it easy. I do get that, like, oh, people just come to you and subscribe to you, and no, I work my arse off for this, and I do struggle with my weight as well. We could talk a bit about body image as well at some point, but
I was actually, because I think this leads nicely, is possibly the wrong word, but this leads nicely into that, the pressure in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, I struggle because I grew up as the fat kid. I've got one of those body types, those metabolisms that I can just gain so much body fat, and I've not looked like this because I've got genetics. I train my arse off, and I restrict my diet so much and everything. And there's a lot of pressure being in this industry to do so. And yeah, so anyway, so that's me. Honest as possible, but I've also got my vulnerabilities, and yeah.
Have you ever had a collab either turn down or agree to film with you based on purely the way that you look?
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah,
they've never said it, but let's be honest. I don't think people have they would want to work with me if they weren't attracted to me. I'm a personality first type of person, but there is a line. I know it sounds really bad. That personality is always first and foremost for me, but sometimes you are just not into someone. I've had it recently. There was someone who was actually really quite attracted to people, but I was like, they're just not my type. I was like, no, like, yeah, but you've slept with someone who's not as attractive as them. I was like, yeah, but they are not my type. So I think types can play a role, And if someone's absolutely stunning, if I don't get their personality and I don't like them, I won't work with them.
I think it's crucial, I think, to remember that being stereotypically attractive doesn't mean you're going to be the most successful person in the industry. It comes down to work ethic, and personality.
Yeah, well, OnlyFans and subscription platforms are not subscribing to you just because you look a certain way. It's about the person. If I want porn, I'll go get it for free. If I just wanted to see some people fuck, but I want to subscribe to people because I like that person. And also their specific type of content. It could be like they're so niche that I want to see it. Um, just to throw it out there, I think one of the best like pegging people out there at the minute. So pegging, strap on
Mm-hmm.
stuff for people interested is she was formerly known as Rage Maiden.
Oh yes, yep.
Yeah, I can't think what she is now. Her app might have changed, but her her OnlyFans, her trailers. I'm like, she fucking nails this. Instead of going down like femdom leather, she's just a sexy ass woman who wears a strap on and just pounds a fella. And it's all crisp white instead of it being dungeon based. So anyway, that's just an example. I might subscribe to her because of the niche. Rebecca Goodwin, subscribe to her because she's funny as fuck.
She really is. She
You can
really is.
She's laughed how many people into her OnlyFans? Now they say you can laugh someone into bed. She's laughed them into her OnlyFans. Gotta be
Um,
funny.
so funny. I actually just Rebecca in particular. I before meeting you, before anything, I found her on TikTok,
Mm.
and I thought she like that, just so funny. Obviously she's completely transparent as well with what she does, and because that's half the jokes. Um, I've a last question for you, which is a nice easy one. Shouldn't require any thought whatsoever. Um, will you shag? No. What is your if you had to pick one?
Yeah.
What's your favorite scene that you've done?
You said this before.
Did I?
Yeah. Is that your first question?
What's your worst scene that you've done? No, we
I
won't.
can't do that. I'm not naming and shaming people.
Not at all. No, 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 no. Was
There
that my
is
first
one.
question?
Yeah.
God. Oh, okay. All right. I have to come up with something different now. All right. Okay. What is the funniest scene that you've done?
Funniest. Again, it goes with that question before. I said Will's hair got set on fire.
I was thinking, I was like, that's why funny enough,
All
that's
right,
why
do you
I
know what?
didn't think of the
Do
funny
you know what?
question because
I'm
like it's definitely going to be a birdie.
I'm gonna go into another one with that. Have you seen the medical scene?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So me Unwrapped in Plastic, we recreated the cover of the Blink 182 album, with the nurse and the rubber glove. So we done some photos like that in a medical room, and then we done a whole scene where like I go in and want to check up, and then she checks me prostate. I get a bit of a willy rev. You know what I mean by willy rev? Starts going, and then yeah, goes from there. That was fun. It was really fun. But I was fuming filming that. There's actually outtakes of me shouting at people.
What? What?
Yeah. So anyway, this scene, it's at a venue, and they've got their own content night. So not my event. We went to a different one. My event, it's very like if doors are shut the fuck up. People are filming.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. It's kind of your standard industry version of if there's a sock on the doorknob.
Yeah, pretty much. So these people standing right outside the door, very loud, laughing, this, that, and the other, because they're having their own conversation, having a laugh. And I'm just like, very like through my teeth. People are filming in here. Like, will you shut the fuck up?
Oh my god! And you would think the people who are attending these things would be the very people who would know not to do that.
Yeah, pretty much. And I know it sounds horrible, but these people, because it's at a swinging venue who run a content night for you to go use their facilities to take pictures and film whatnot. And I literally left that, and I literally just said to like loads of people who come to my event saying that was not at all what I expected. People, it was just a load of swingers who want to go there and get their pictures for swinging dating apps.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. I was like, they don't appreciate actual content is content. Like I was going there for, anyway. So I was fuming. Yeah. Like my events, you can have like the next one's got 70 to 100 people in it. Normally 50. This event had 20 people max, and you could barely get anywhere because people were just fucking everywhere because they were just there they were there just shagging. They weren't there like, I'm going for content. You know what I mean? So it was different. But it was a great night to go get photos because you can't hear people in photos. Yeah. So we had this really funny photo where I'm doing a handstand upside down with a boner, and she's got like my dick like along the side of her face, and she's like smiling, like yay. She's got a big rubber gloves on, and then I managed to do a one-handed handstand. Don't know if you've seen that. So I've got a
I
one-handed
haven't seen
hand.
that one. Fair play.
That was hard. A naked, erected, one-handed handstand. When I say erected, I mean my penis. And she's like licking the side of it, like.
But yeah, like that's the kind of thing where I'm just like, retire.
My
Like
dog's
that,
making so
like
much
how
noise.
do you top that?
Yeah, it was. Do you know what? I posted that on Twitter, and no one really cared.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh no, like what? I mean, like the sheer physicality that goes
yeah.
into that and the timing. I presume you weren't one-handed handstanding for half an hour.
I was holding it for about 30 seconds.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's quite difficult. Teddy, move. He's making so much noise. He's on the laminate flooring, clacking away with his nails. Go away.
That,
Go away.
that
So,
is great. What? Yeah.
so what I was going to say, sorry, back to that is this relates back to something we were discussing earlier about Teddy, sit. Good boy. So it relates to earlier where I was saying content. Sometimes production stuff isn't favoured. So the stuff that like going into this medical scene and stuff like that, a lot of effort in that one picture. But the one where I take a selfie where I've got my dick out in an elevator in the mirror, like got 10 times the engagement. Literally, I'm just there in an elevator, dick out, snap, done.
um, it's funny. It can be hard. It can be very hard to predict, obviously, what people are into, or what they'll engage with. And day to day, I mean, today I could be into one-handed handstand, erect Ethan. Tomorrow I could be into having cake eaten out your butthole.
Yeah, I've done that one. Yeah, I did that. Yeah,
it's
true,
funny,
though.
like yeah. I have a list of things that I would love to try in life. I mean, you've done like 87% of them, kind of.
It is
So
quite
actually,
funny that.
yeah.
Go on. What are you going
Well,
to say?
because it was going to lead into, is there anything, because you've done rather a lot, but was there anything? I guess the question is, what was on your kink sheet that you were like, I must find a way to film this because I want to try this myself?
Yeah, so I was literally about to go into that saying I get a lot of people messaging, like, what's your biggest fantasy? Like, have you got any fantasies? And I'm like, I've done them. Like, I did most of them, like, by the time I was 21, purely because I have this mentality of if you die and you've not done the things you want to try, you know what I mean? You could die tomorrow, you could die next week. Just if there's something you fantasize about that is literally doable, that you could arrange and do, why don't you do it? People are like, oh yeah, I really want to have a threesome. Go fucking have one then. Oh, I really want to try putting I was gonna say put a toilet in my bum, but loads of people do that. I want to be pegged by a woman. Do it. I want to have sex outdoors. That's you know what I mean. These are quite straightforward things, but then some people have got bigger things like, right, I want to be tied up and then electrocuted. Do it. You know, I've literally just to put it out there. I've been so I'm quite dominant, but I sorry, the dogs are being stupid again. So even though I'm dom, I've explored the submissive side to learn that I'm vastly majority dom. But years ago, I played with my sub side quite a lot. That's where I learned about how to dom. I think you got to experience the thing. So I was, that Black Cling film. Have you seen it?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I've been like bound to and blindfolded to a stripper pole. So that was wrapped round me. Mom, if you're listening, turn this off, please. Yeah.
Ethan's mum, if you've made it this far,
I just
you are a
remembered.
badass.
And I'll be honest, I don't think
Badass.
my mum's ever going to listen to this, but I just remembered we said it earlier, and I thought, oh shit. But yeah, so that was wrapped bound around me. Any family listening, turn this off. And then bit cut out, so my dick's out. But I also had a butt plug rammed up my ass that had a remote control hanging out the side. So this is in a room full of about 40 people. So I had a femdom who was in control, who was literally because she knew who I would allow and not allow. She was my safety net, but she would let people come and then like play with me, suck me off, went me off, control the butt plug, and just leave me there. And I was there for, I don't know, an hour. I'd done that at the age of, I think, 19.
Like, that sounds like a lot of fun,
It is.
especially because it was control. Like, you had someone there who was like, if
Yeah,
you wanted to
safety.
go, listen, tap out, you know.
Yeah, safety net. But there's what I'm saying. So people are like, oh my God, like that sounds amazing. It's like, if you want to do it, organize it. Go fucking. I didn't even know I wanted to do that. That was her
Mm.
idea. But you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, these things actually don't be so fucking prudish. Like, and leave things that you want to do until it's too late. You might not even die. You just might not be able to get boners anymore.
Uh, Fair, yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
people go, "Oh my God, I had all this opportunity. Now it doesn't even work."
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I could just imagine myself in the situation going like, well,
So the dogs are
shit.
playing. Shh.
As I said earlier on, like, for me, dogs are always, I prefer
Do you want
dogs
to
to
see the other
people,
one? Do
so dogs are always welcome on a podcast.
you want to see the other one?
Yes.
Ruby, come in. There you go.
Oh, look at her. Oh, she's so pretty.
Yeah, she's just having a good sniff at my face. Yeah.
Oh, she's so pretty.
So yeah.
So yeah. Ethan, you are
Right, 1 second. Teddy, stop it. Good boy.
half the audience just heard you say good boy and I've just passed out.
Oh.
But I want to say thank you for letting me interview you.
Thank
this has
you
been fascinating.
for being the host. This was an interesting way of doing the podcast.
I would say so. You are an inspiration. I will say that. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. I'm not going to die today that I know of, but yeah, I just want to say it's been a pleasure getting to know you. And you've been so open as well, which is one of the reasons I gravitated so much towards yourself and your content. But also thanks for being a bit of a legend.
Well, yeah, it's flattering. Thank you. My ego hopefully won't swell too much today. I'll be able to leave the house, be able to get out the door. I do just want to say then, as a thank you for doing this, I'm going to grab your OnlyFans link, and I'm going to just put it in the comments. Mine and
Lovely.
Sean's, they're both going to be there. So if people want to check us out, check out our pages. They're there. Yeah. Well, cheers, bud.
Thank you very much. You're a gentleman and a scholar, and I look forward to seeing what other various shapes your body can take.
All right, cheers. Well, I'm actually going to definitely get you back on this podcast, whether it be as an interviewee or interviewer again, or just a random spit back and forth of random chat, because it's been good. It's been fun.
Oh, it's been lovely. I appreciate it. You're a gentleman. Thank you very much.
All right, cheers, buddy. Thanks again.